My name is Rebecca Crook. I am the co-founder and executive director of Metis. We are based in Nairobi, Kenya. Metis is what the Greeks called local contextualized knowledge. And so what we do is we support leaders with Metis, leaders who have ideas for how to fundamentally reinvent education. And so we support them with the tools, resources, and most importantly, the community they need to make those ideas come to life. So we run a 6-month fellowship for cohorts of about 15 local Kenya education leaders. And we also run education ecosystem building events, all in the idea of galvanizing more collective learning and more collective action to really reimagine education in Kenya and beyond. I think so many of us share a dream and a vision for an education system in the future that is really distinct from the past. We have dreams for teaching and learning that is more life-affirming, less rote, more human. And I think if we want that sort of education for kids, we really need adults to also experience the power and the beauty of that education. And I don't think a lot of adult leaders have experienced the power of that possibility. And so when I thought about wanting to make sure that all kids have an excellent education, it just made me think that, we need to also support adults to make that dream come to life. I think that we've all really been conditioned to value some voices over other voices, older people's voices over the voices of youth, voices of men over those of women. We are conditioned to view voices differently. And I feel so grateful for having had the privilege to be at KAR in 2018, and that actually really shaped my work as an educator and working with other educators. In the fellowship that Metis runs, the first day of our retreat always centers student voice. So we have students from all different backgrounds, students experiencing homelessness, students from wealthier schools, students from different tribes, religions, come and facilitate a session of what they hope to be true for education, what they hope to be true for their lives, what their dreams are. And so I think KAR and being a part of this global KAR community has really taught me the possibility and the power of really centering student voices. I think partnership is so difficult, and I think when we lean into that challenge, it can also be such a relief as an educator to be like, oh my God, I don't have to do this alone. I not only have other educators to work with, but I have my students and their families, and they are brilliant. And when we partner together, it's like, wow, everything doesn't lie on my shoulders. So I think there's a lot of beauty to leaning into partnership. I think we all are exposed to the smog of it's inescapable, really. We have breathed in this very polluted air that says that educators should have more power, more voice than students. And so I think it is really revolutionary to question that balance of power. And I think it takes a lot of practice, it takes a lot of courage, both on the part of our adults, but also on the part of our students. So yes, I definitely think it's difficult. And I think that the power of KAR is that you can see it in practice. And once you see it, it is that much easier to believe it's possible in my own contexting. I think at Metis, our community's shared vision for education is one that is joyful, relevant, and life-affirming for everyone involved, teachers and students. And so, I think at the heart of a great education is not just learning how to spew out facts on a standardized test. It's really being able to find your own light, find your own voice, and practice and get the tools, sharpen the tools you need to go out and make the world a better place. And so for a lot of the leaders that I have the privilege to work with, that's their vision for education. And I think the only pathway to get there is really if they feel empowered to tackle challenges that they see in the world, and if they're also at the same time empowering their kids to do the same. So it's this kind of parallel journey that our leaders are taking alongside of the kids. So as Metis supports leaders to really step into the power of their voices, because they also have experienced marginalization and oppression, as they step into the power of their own voices, they're also providing more space for others, for their kids to step into the power of their own voices. There are 2 lessons I've learned, or really I'm still learning and practicing. The first is just to start small. I think there's this myth that you have to do only great things. And actually Mother Teresa teaches us that, you don't have to do great things. You can do small things with great love. And so if you're out there and you have an idea, and it feels small to you, do that small thing with great love. And I think that you'll have a ripple effect that is really, really impactful and important. I would say the second thing would be that there's an African proverb that goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. And so I would say a lesson that I'm really working on and practicing is, what does it really look like to link arms with and go together? Go together with students, go together with parents, go together with teachers, go together with principals, go together with people across lines of difference and border lines. That's something I'm really practicing. KER has taught me so many things. I think at the heart of it, KER is an opportunity and an experience that really humanizes education, really humanizes partnership. And I think as an educator or as a leader, you forget to provide space for everyone, kids and adults alike, just to be human and to have spaces of true belonging. And KER is a space that fosters belonging between kids of different castes and religions and regions, and I think we all need that belonging. I don't think that we can do our biggest, bravest, most powerful work without a space of safety and true connection, and KER fosters that.